announcing today that based upon everything I know at this point about this case, this is having been with our officers, our deputies, and our agents for most of this investigation, day in and day out since February 16th, our office will be seeking the death penalty in this case. The evidence shows that Adrienne Reid, her 2-year-old daughter, she literally threw her in the trash. And then she engaged in a 53-day-long campaign of deceit, lies, manipulation, and as previously stated, destruction of evidence.
Today, we're going to be back in Enterprise, Alabama, where we had spoke about a 2-year-old missing little girl by the name of Genesis Reid. Her mother, 33-year-old Adrienne Reid, reported her daughter missing from their Enterprise apartment around 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday, February 16, 2026. However, new information has came out, and on today, March 9, 2026, which is also Genesis' 3rd birthday, disturbing news was reported. According to law officials, Adrienne set out on a 53-day-long campaign of deceit, lies, and manipulation, but finally she told the truth, and it was a truth that nobody was ready to hear. Now, when the news initially spread about the case, Genesis' father, who lives in Florida 3 hours away, quickly came up to Alabama to find out where his daughter was. A lot of people initially thought he wasn't a person involved in his child's life, but that was far from the truth. He always had Genesis, and anytime he could get her, he would. From video and pictures that were shared on Genesis' father's social media, you can tell that she was a spunky little girl, full of life, and was just a joy to be around.
Jen, talk to Mommy. Say, hey, Mommy, I love you.
Hey, Mommy, I love you.
Say, I miss you.
I miss you.
Call you later.
Call you later.
Blow a kiss.
Go, tree. Yeah. Go every A, B, C, D, E,
F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Yay!
Wait.
Yay! Everybody clap! Everybody clap! Yay! High five! High five! High fives! High fives! High fives! Hold it down.
You can have my eyes, Lollipop. I'm the most kind ever. So you could have
Stop.
Everyone wants to be kind by giving away their ice lollies.
I'm sure he never imagined in a million years that Adrienne would allegedly do something so tragic. And if he would have thought something like that would have taken place, he would have never let his child go back home to her. Sadly, on a day that's supposed to be a day of celebration, it was revealed that Genesis allegedly is no longer with us, and her mother decided to tell the truth. This is what law officials had to say about the information they have found out over the few weeks they have investigated the case.
On February 16th at approximately 3 a.m., Adrienne Reid reported to law enforcement that her daughter, Genesis Reid, was gone from the apartment and the exterior door was open. Through the course of our investigation, detectives developed sufficient probable cause to determine that the report was false. On February 17th, Adrienne Reid was arrested and charged with false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class C felony, due to the report alleging imminent danger to a person. As investigators continued to follow leads and interview witnesses, information emerged indicating that Genesis had not been seen with Adrienne since Christmas Day. Through the careful and methodical work of investigators, we have reached the heartbreaking and horrific conclusion that her mother, her caretaker, the one that should have been there to keep her safe, willfully murdered Genesis and placed her in a duffel bag and discarded her in a dumpster. March 9, 2026, Adrienne Reid, the mother of Genesis Reid, had been formally charged with capital murder for the killing of a child under the age of 14 in abuse of a corpse. The last confirmed contact with family members occurred on December 25th, when Genesis visited relatives in Dothan for the Christmas holiday. That evening, she was returned to her residence in Enterprise with her mother. During the investigations, Detectives obtained camera footage from a neighboring resident showing Adrian walking toward the apartment complex dumpster with a rolling duffel bag at approximately 11:30 p.m. on Christmas night. 2 days later, additional footage captured Adrian returning to the dumpster area carrying toys and other belongings belonging to Genesis community. March 9th would have been Genesis' 3rd birthday. The loss of a child, the most precious and innocent members of our society, is something that cannot be ignored and will not be forgotten. The investigation is far from over. Our focus now turns to bringing Genesis home to the community that loved her. The search and rescue process will be long and difficult, but our resolve remains unwavering. We will continue working until Genesis is brought home. At this time, I'll return it over to Sheriff Byrd, who will provide an overview of the landfill recovery process.
So, we have been involved in this case since February 16th. I've had multiple investigators with this office, with them working and throughout this whole entire operation. And early on, I had a gut feeling this is where it went. So I had started initially calling and searching and filling, and we have contacts through the collection agencies that are really good friends of mine, and we started tracking this. So I initially went and got cadaver dogs and went to the landfill early on in this investigation. And at the beginning, they gave me we had about a 4 or 5 acre window. This landfill is over 100 acres of working space. But that does not deter us in any form or fashion. So as the investigation continued, we can proudly say that we've narrowed it down between 200 and 100 feet square. Okay. Our landfill is probably one of the most modern landfills in the state of Alabama. They have drones they fly. We have GPS trackers on the bulldozers. We have GPS trackers on the packers. We have GPS trackers on the garbage trucks. We know where they are, when they are, and how they are at all times. So when the FBI and Enterprise Police Department and all the SBI gave us a date, we started dialing in. Investigators SBI worked round the clock, and it was just awesome. The FBI team, the card team, was tremendous in this. This search is going to be methodical, but we're not going to waver at any point looking for her. Now, I will say we have not put the first piece of equipment in the dirt. All we've done for the past, since February the 16th, or right after that, we've been plotting and searching. It's a 100-acre landfill. We are determined to find her. We're going to give every effort. I'm going to ask the surrounding agencies to send me personnel. We've got a team out of Atlanta coming that has found several 50-something in landfill. They're experts. They're going to show us how to excavate this. We're dialing it in. They're going to be here this week, and we will get started. We've already been started. So y'all keep us in your prayers. Thank you.
James Tarbox, District Attorney. Want to update you on the legal process. Adrian Reid, as Chief said, has been formally charged with 1 count of capital murder for intentionally causing the death of a child under the age of 14, pursuant to Code of Alabama 13A 540 subsection A15. She has also been charged with 1 count of abuse of a corpse pursuant to Code Section 13A 1113. That is a Class C felony under the laws of the state of Alabama. She's now charged with a total of 3 felonies as a part of this investigation that began on February 16th. Capital murder under Alabama law is the intentional murder of someone with a legally recognized additional factor. In this case, subsection 815 is our additional factor, which is a victim under the age of 14. Genesis Reid was 2 years old. Abuse of a corpse is when a person knowingly treats a human corpse in a way that would outrage ordinary family sensibilities. Reid will have an initial appearance before District Judge Josh Wilson on the new felony charges later this week. She will be entitled to counsel. Based on procedures established under Code of Alabama 1513.3, she will be held without bond. She may later request a bond hearing, but the court is not under the the strict time provisions set out for what we commonly refer to as an Anais law hearing. Under Alabama law, if we are successful in our prosecution for capital murder and Adrian Reid is convicted, there are two possible punishments for a jury to decide: life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. During the court proceedings of this case, our office will have to formally elect whether we are seeking the death penalty. I am committed at that time to fully evaluating the case file and evidence before making a final decision on the death penalty. However, I am formally announcing today that based upon everything I know at this point about this case, this is having been with our officers, our deputies, and our agents for most of this investigation, day in and day out since February 16th, our office will be seeking the death penalty in this case. The evidence shows that Adrian Reid killed her 2-year-old daughter. She literally threw her in the trash. And then she engaged in a 53-day-long campaign of deceit, lies, manipulation, and, as previously stated, destruction of evidence, before she finally made her false report on February 16th. Her conduct speaks for itself, and I believe this preliminary decision to seek the death penalty conforms to our community's beliefs about this case and our shared values about how we value and seek to protect the most innocent among us, our children. Mayor Cooper.
And this happened on Christmas night? Is that what I heard? Correct?
That's correct. Late
In
Christmas night. What's that?
Was it in Dothan or was it?
No, sir. We have evidence that both Adrian and Genesis were brought back to Enterprise to the apartment.
It is so very devastating and heartbreaking to know that a mother could take her own child's life on Christmas Day and then put her in a bag and throw her in the dumpster as if she meant nothing. I don't know how she could look at her little face and do such a thing. It is very sad and it is very tragic. I am glad that she finally told the truth behind bars, and I do pray that law officials are able to find her in the landfill. So please be praying for the recovery of her body so her father and the rest of the family that loved her can lay her to rest properly. If she was overwhelmed with being a mother or didn't want to be a mother any longer, I'm sure that Genesis' dad would have took her in and took full custody. And even if he didn't want to or wasn't able to, someone would have taken care of that child and adopted her and gave her a good life. There's no excuse for doing what she did, and it is so very heartbreaking and tragic. Let me know your thoughts on what you think about law officials possibly giving her the death penalty. My heartfelt thoughts and prayers go out to her father, who had to get this disturbing news on his daughter's 3rd birthday, and it's something no parent should have to experience. Please don't forget to comment your prayers as well for everyone involved, and also hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.